suits 3 of their players.
Yep.
And you look at the other teams, it's like everyone has one guy who's like significantly hurt, whatnot. Assault, already a slow, very good AR player. Ricky and Aches can just be those like slow, tactical players. They're very smart. They never put themselves out of games. They're never going to feed you streaks. They're always going to keep these games close.
Yeah, but I also think down there you have to look at E6, and they're going up against Allegiance. But I think E6 could has an even better chance to make that run.
I think you could look at them potentially getting into the winners bracket final,
which is crazy. Like a team, like I remember, I think one of our producers, Mark, was like, "Oh, has a team ever like actually come out of the open and gone all the way to the final?" And I think Revan said maybe during Black Ops 1 it happened with one team, but I couldn't think of anyone off the top of my head where it's happened with. And if we actually have that at this event, that would be
a long
sick.
time.
That'd be nuts, actually. I mean, you know, potentially E6 could be one to do it. But then at the top side of the bracket, what kind of games? Obviously, Faze, Splyce, that sits at the very, very top. Underneath that, Rise LG. I mean, who makes it to the winners bracket from the top side?
And you talk about that Rise LG game, and those are the 2 teams that sort of swapped teammates. So a lot.
They like each other.
Very good friends. Very good friends. Of course, Faze, Splyce about to get underway. Here, of course, our rig draft on the left-hand side, Splyce, the right, Faze. Merc, you're looking intently at the rig draft. Anything catch your eye?
Yeah, I mean, just that Centurion on Clayster. We'll see how he places it on this map. That's always sort of a discussion around. You know, do you take that Centurion?
I have not seen a great Centurion use. I think especially with how important the spawns are now and how big anchoring is, overdrive on somebody like Clayster would have been big.
Yep.
Well, map number 1 about to get underway. North America versus Europe. Faze versus Splyce. We can send it over to our casters for the series.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, pool play is done, and it is time to get into the bracket. Courage joined by Chance for what is gonna be a hell of a match. EU's finest versus NA's finest. It's Splyce versus Faze Clan, and off the break, we're gonna follow Bance through the respawn to see how we can go ahead and go for the break on this first hardpoint.
Well, the break is exactly what you're going to need to see. These players are going to be favoring that shower side so much. You see Clayster right now. He's going to be the player sitting inside, and it looks like Clayster and Vance are actually prepared for each other. Zuma's going to win the gunfight over inside of showers. You see Dirt trying to push up close to the hill, but Enable sitting inside, able to pick up his 2nd kill. Clayster also on the 3 streak.
I already heard Clayster start screaming. He's gotten a few kills. He's starting off 3-0. Absolutely love the energy these guys bring to the venue. And you actually saw the first video that played was about the rivalry between Rated and Clayster. I think I saw on Twitter, Rated and crew in orbit eliminated. Now though, Splyce, the European hope, Brycey on Twitter asked him his prediction. He says, you know, Faze are looking hot, but I have to side with my European brothers in this one. Right now, it's all Faze up 30-4. Make it Clayster on a roll. 6-0 off the break.
Well, it's worth mentioning that I haven't seen a single hardpoint game where the team that gets full streaks doesn't win. So right now, Clayster already building towards that, just 100 away from those next Scorchers. Either way, though, they're inside the hill. The points are the only thing that matters, and Faze has a 40-point lead. You see Clay on that 7-streak. A player coming out just in front of him, gonna get it with the pistol. Now he's just 100 points away from the Warden. Clay's looking pretty good so far.
A Warden off the first life. That'd be the first time we see that this weekend here at the CWL Vegas Open. He's going to rotate towards top laundry and begin to help his teammates with fire down range. There it is, folks. Let's wait to watch him off the respawn to call it in. I want to see the major alert. I want to see the Warden on the top of your screen. Clayster is 9-1. The crowd's behind him as well as he's going to go ahead, streak for this next rotation. Faze up 74-4, Chance.
Kind of curious as to when he's going to call that Warden in. Either way, the new hard point is up. You see the streak score mildly effective. Enable's going to be able to work inside in the hill as well, but still 79-4 right now. Splyce not looking too great. You see Josh sitting at 1-6, just struggles all the way around. They're getting destroyed on the rotation. They're getting destroyed inside the hill. They can't break. They can't do anything. This is the Faze we expected to see coming into this tournament.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit more reminiscent of the PSX Faze, up by 90 seconds now. So one-sided. And Chance, what is it for you right now that's working so well for them?
I mean, can you really say anything other than Clayster started out 9-0, Enable's 8-2 on a 4-kill streak, and Zuma's on a 5. They're just not dying. Attach has 1 kill to his name, and that's a 100-point lead in favor of Faze. There's nothing for this guy to do, and Clayster is hardly losing any gunfights. It takes 3 players from the opposing team to bring him down.
Splyce just can't seem to get anything going. Let's rotate over towards Mad Cat. He's near this new commissary hardpoint, but even on your mini-map right now, he's getting surrounded, and there's the Warden, folks. The skies have been taken over by Faze Clan. It's over a 2-minute lead. Faze going for the spawns and the break. It's 3 dead again. Forget the 100-point club, Chance. They're going for the 10-point club.
Well, the fewest amount of points I've seen scored in Hardpoint is 7. So they are on the way to make this happen.
Look at the combined streak.
Yeah, completely dismantling the opposing team just outright. Now they got the Warden in the air. Now you see Zuma's got full streaks. I think Enable has a couple streaks as well. So everything that could go right is going right. And Tatch is just bored out of his mind. You see, he knows exactly where the player is going to be coming from. He's able to get a 3rd kill, not able to get his 4th. But it does not matter. Faze is going to be there to pick up the slack.
It's 159-6. Faze, I don't know what they had for dinner, but apparently it's got them locked in right now. Forget the strategies, forget everything. Splyce just need to get some kills, Chance. They're down by 3. Faze could put down their controllers for 3 minutes and it would be a tied game.
I mean, honestly, if you need to take a bathroom break, don't go in between maps. Just go during
go
the
right
map.
now. Go ahead, Attach. You got some kills anyway, so you might as well.
I was about to say, Attach ain't going to make too much of a difference. More streaks being called in as well. The first set of rotations are in. The Hardpoint is going to be the brand new one that no one is going to sit inside. It looks like Splyce has avoided getting 10-point clubs, but still they're sitting inside the old Hardpoint. They need to get on top of the building to get
the points. Oh my God.
And that Warden is just flown away, but no matter, 170 points between these two teams.
I'm sorry, European COD fans. There's no way I'm watching Splyce in this scenario. Nobody on their team has even reached the 10-kill mark. They've got a combined 11 seconds in the objective. Play is not missing. 21-6. Folks, it is 200-11 right now. This is the most one-sided Hardpoint I have ever casted it in my entire casting career.
So we're getting to the point where Enable and Attach, if they pick up a few more kills, are going to have more kills than the enemy has points.
They might beat them 250-11. They already have the rotation. Oh. This isn't right. What, Chance, you're speechless.
I'm not speechless. This is boring, honestly. There's nothing to talk about.
Chance always so blunt. They're on the rotation. Everyone dead again on Splyce. One final player challenging. 230-13. Okay, this is a wake-up call or something. Scorchers coming in, 237-13. Chance is standing up. He's not even looking at the screen. One final push. The crowd getting into it now. Folks, this is a slaughter. Splyce are barely holding on for any time. I do believe Pants has stopped it for the moment. 247-16. They might get the rest of the scrap time, but no, I think Faze want to make a statement. They want to end it right here, right now. They're trying to do so. Bance putting everything in it that he can. 247-22. Attaches there. 250-22. Somebody call someone. We can't show this on stream.
So, moving on to gonna play some Search and Destroy after this.
Negative 30.
Clayster got more kills than Splyce got points.
No way.
You get a point per second, and Clayster got more kills. I mean, he started out 9-0, and it's like, I mean, they slowed down, I guess, in terms of kills, but like, it's pretty good. Yeah, no, Faze is looking good. NA versus EU. NA, they're better.
Josh, 3-17 with 1 second to his name. Pretty big stuff right there. As that is going to be game number 1. I can only imagine what Twitter is saying right now. Chat spamming all sorts of things. That was a rough one. I genuinely, for one of the few times, I don't know what to say after a map.
We just got the audio cue for Clayster replay incoming. I was about to say the entire
whole map. Just replay the whole map as we get ready for game 2. Here's where I can hear Clay scream at the top of his lungs because he starts off 6-0, puts more kills together, earns the Warden in 2 hills, and then they don't look back. Look, just watch the score. Just watch it keep going up while the number is still 4. Unbelievable stuff. I don't know.
I mean, it's picture-perfect Hardpoint as well, right? They did all the rotations, got right. They got all the hills. They had the right person inside the hill. Anything you ever need to learn about Hardpoint, you can just, well, at least on this map, you can go back and rewatch this gameplay. The coach for Faze must be very, very good at his job because, I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Not only is replay smart, but he's damn handsome. And, you know, he's got a smile on his face after that one. Silver lining for Splyce. They're going into a little bit of slower-paced game mode in Search and Destroy up next. Won't have to deal with a hard point if they can get to that game 4, but if that's any sign for things to come for FaZe Clan, they're looking to make that repeat championship PlayStation experience, and then now here at the Las Vegas Open, a reality. Look at Splyce. I don't really know what to say for him because that was just rough. They need to forget about that.
I was about to say, you can bounce back from that. I don't think that's. I think you mentally check out of that game after like the third hill, and you just go ahead and start focusing for the next one. Like if you lose like a 250 to 249 game, that's devastating because like you were so close. But if you get beat by 240 points, whatever it was, like maybe you could bounce back for the second. Or FaZe is going to 6-0 him, and it's going to be bad. One of the two.
It either is going to be one of the two. The rig draft about to get underway for this game number 2. It's going to be Scorch, Search, and Destroy. Definitely a map where we can see snipers out on that B site. Enable commanding the troops as, let's see if there's anything too crazy coming out right now. Doesn't appear so, as Propulsion very popular on this map and really every single game mode. Reactive armor on Bance as well as Zuma. Not surprising when it's on your most aggressive player. Folks, we just watched the biggest hardpoint slaughter I have ever seen on the main stage at 250 to 22. We're about to change things up, though. Head into Search and Destroy. Chance predictions for Splyce on this map. Really, anything they do would be better.
I'm just going to go ahead and say 6-1 FaZe. Like, after that, they just got completely outclassed in every facet of the game. I know Search and Destroy is a vastly different game mode, but either way, I don't know. FaZe, they came into this expecting to be the best team in the game. They proved it at least right there in that past map, of course. They got to continue that kind of destruction, but we'll see what Splyce is able to put together.
All right, folks, let's get into it. Game 2, Scorch, Search, and Destroy. We're watching Josh, who had probably one of his worst maps in his entire long-standing Call of Duty career at 3-17 in hardpoint. Looking to see what he can do. First blood now for Bance. The second challenge comes in. Does look like Splyce has a number advantage for the moment as, wow, Bance has already soared to 3. Can he chase down the ace? It doesn't matter. Splyce take round 1 in a very quick fashion.
Yeah, and that is a huge round as well. They didn't play passive. They just, they came right for FaZe's throat. They were able to come out on top, and that's got to be a breath of fresh air, right? You went from having absolutely zero success, and now you've at least got a round on the board in Search and Destroy. So again, just take that deep breath, focus on the next task at hand. So Splyce up 1-0.
Go ahead and switch on over to FaZe as they're on offense now. See if they can go ahead and have a similar luck as Splyce when pushing towards this B site. As you can see through the X-ray, an aggressive player already getting towards this front trail side, and I have no idea if FaZe actually knows, so he could be the catalyst in getting this first blood for his team. Grenades coming in from different angles. An attached pop to back out plays like.
Yeah, 8-man stack on this B-bomb site for the moment. Someone's going to be able to make the first move. Jared's going to get that first blood. Difficult to trade out as well. You see Bance is pushing up to help out his teammate. It's going to be a clean trade right there. 3 versus 2 in favor right now. Splyce, Jared able to pick up his second kill as well, attached in 1v3. And those players for Splyce are wasting no time flying across the bomb site, making sure to close that one out and not give Attach any hope of clutching that round.
Nicely done by Splyce. Mad Cat goes flying out for the 2-piece to close out the round. All right, so they've regained their composure. They've got themselves a round lead at the moment. As we continue on through, Splyce will be back on offense. Seems like right now, Chance, it's paying off with them just getting aggressive, getting into FaZe's face before really any sort of strategy could come into play other than just run at the enemies and win the gunfights.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dance around that B-bomb site, and as soon as that first blood comes in, the team can now be aggressive to force the bomb. Once again, going over towards B phase, though, they are triple stacking mid-map, and it looks like they're just going to go straight through. The player watching the flank for Splyce is supposed to be Josh. Josh is pushed through all the way to the A bomb site, and you see Zuma already able to pick up that first kill on the flank. Now players have to turn around. Jared is able to get one. He thinks there is more players back here, but look at Josh right now on the mini-map. He's all the way in observation. He's actually going to run straight past the player. Placer able to pick up that kill. That's going to leave Bance in a 1 versus 2, and they know exactly where he is going. Does have that bomb in hand to his credit. Still, though, difficult situation to be in.
I thought that was Let's Go Bance, but no, it's definitely Let's Go FaZe. Confused me for a second. I was surprised to have so many Bance supporters in the venue this weekend. But no, all about FaZe. They're hitting this outer wall run, and they'll go ahead, clean them up with ease. FaZe Clan get their first round. And that's the universal sign for hello. A very nice gesture there by Zuma. Wants to make sure the camaraderie is felt as he salutes him and says, "Good try there, buddy." I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, gotta hit him with the salute. Totally the most respectful thing possible in that situation. But either way, FaZe doing a nice job to close out that round. Again, we saw a bloodbath of a map number 1, and now FaZe is making sure that that does not happen map number 2. Not going to get 6-0'd here. So a very close game. Going to see what FaZe is able to put together on offense. They mixed up the strats quite a bit for that defensive round. Going to see if they pull anything out of the bag, and that seems to be the case. 4 men leaning over towards this A side, and there is no one for Splyce that is going to be watching it, and they are wasting absolutely no time.
Yeah, I like this pressure from FaZe and Splyce. Look, they have no bodies here. One player rotating on over. He'll get cleaned on up. 3 versus 3 scenario as Enable, Clayster, and Zuma look to open up this A site, and I think that will be the shot call to just immediately go for this objective. What can Mad Cat do as he pushes towards the back lava area? Nothing as of yet, as Bance has opened up this A-bomb site.
Second blood going to come in as well. Bance cannot be stopped. Clayster's able to pick up one, and Bance is going to be there to shut him down. He is 10-4 right now, or 10-2, excuse me, on the 4 kill streak. Either way, I like the play call out of FaZe to go over towards A. Ooh, we got a lot of little talk going on back and forth between these two teams.
Apparently Clayster is something against these Europeans, because there's always some banter going on with FaZe Clan and the European squads, which, hey, I'm all about rivalries in Call of Duty esports. Some of the most legendary storylines have come from them. Splyce still in command of this search and destroy, even with the crowd being behind. FaZe not helping here. As so far, this has been the Bance show, man. The guy's 10-2. I got to show him more love. He's back on another streak now, earned himself the Scarab. Moving towards his second streak, as Splyce will go ahead and go back to what's worked for them so far in this game, the B site.
Well, going to get picked off immediately. The sniper of the K-bar is Clayster when he is on point, so going to get that first blood. Of course, it does appear Josh, number 1 on your screen, is going to be flanking around again. Clayster was able to pick him up last time, so they're aware of what is going to be going on. You see a player is going to be just around this corner. Not quite ready for the gunfight, though. Josh is going to get the kill, and he's going to get out, evening this up to a 3v3.
That's the best case scenario, because look at what that's also forcing FaZe to do. On your minimap right now, they don't feel safe anywhere. They're going to begin to rotate towards this A site, and if you look at the rest of the minimap, Splyce couldn't be further away, so that distraction by Josh, he gets out with his life to a veteran play, as that will go ahead and give Splyce a major opportunity to actually take this round. Ooh.
Well, went from a major play, and then he didn't check his corners.
Yeah.
One of the staples of search and destroy in Call of Duty. Always have to check those corners. Still, the 2v3, the bomb is down, so Splyce is not out of it yet. A player going up top is going to be able to take down Jared. That's Enable. Mad Cat now left alive in a 1 versus 3. Imagine FaZe is just going to flood this bomb site. One player is going to be in the back. The pinch is coming in. A player jumps over top, not able to win the second gunfight in time, and Zuma is going to be able to finish off that kill. So FaZe going to get another round on the board.
3-2, they're keeping it close. These teams looking a little bit more evenly matched in search and destroy. Big difference in that round. Bance shut down right away by the precision K-bar shots coming out of Clayster across the map. Here it is from Zuma. Make sure to team shot with Enable to close out that round. And Chance, you have something you want to bring up about this?
Yeah, something to think about is last time FaZe on offense, they 4-man hit A right away, and Splyce sent 0 people over there. So even if FaZe just elects to continue to go back to this B bomb site, the standard thing, you'd imagine Splyce is at least going to be cautious and make sure to watch the A bomb site, and that seems to be the case. They sent 2 men over. So FaZe, if they play hyper aggressive right now, they can flood out the B bomb site, get it down, and get some kills.
Look at how they're playing this, Chance. They're actually playing more passively around the Scarab near the back of their base, and they're letting Josh and Jerd aggressively push up the sky bridge. Does Clayster sniff this out? It does appear so. There's one, challenges the second, can't clean him up. It's going to be Jerd with the headshot, making it a 3-on-3. And look at how paranoid Enable is now. He wants to move up with the objective, but they've got to clear out their flank. They do just that. Back down to a 2-on-2. Mad Cat and Bance against Attach and Enable.
Streak has been used by Bance, though. Mad Cat has that gunfight inside of control. All 4 players stacked up around this area. All comes down to gunfights attached. Gonna have 2 players out front. Able to pick up one, not able to get the second. Mad Cat gets the beat down. Enable gonna be coming in from the back. The payload is gonna get used as well. It looks like that was overdrive. He was just trying to get out of dodge. 30 seconds left in this round. Enable does have that bomb in hand.
How does Enable try to play this one? He's worried about Mad Cat still being on this back rock side, and Mad Cat can take all the time in the world. He doesn't have to worry about planting. 15 seconds remaining. Up to Enable to still make something happen. And I think he's now made his decision. How does Mad Cat play this? Looks like he'll go ahead, check the first site. Won't spot anything here, and I do believe he's too far away to actually pick off Enable on this plant, but does Enable want camo? He does. A major difference maker. He's going to pop it right away. But that's actually a best case scenario for Mad Cat, because he tags him up, and he'll just go ahead and fall back and wait this one on out. So a burn of the payload ability, and it's for nothing.
Yeah, that is a huge play. Still, though, he has to clutch the 1v1 to get the best use out of it. You see what Mad Cat is trying to do, flank all the way around back in the base, and Enable, of course, needs to stay by that bomb site. Players are going to run into each other any moment now. 17 seconds left. Mad Cat has to make the move. The pressure is on him. He's near the bomb site. He's pre-aiming. All he knows is somewhere. Going out for the challenge. Enable not going to peek it though, and he's wasted enough time anyway, and he wins the gunfight.
Nice stuff from Enable, keeping it 3-3. Let's see it again as Enable just sits in the corner and hip fires the whole time and lets him walk right into his bullets. You know, when I use the NV4 hip fire, I get turned on twice and have 2 videos on Twitter that get 3,000 retweets and people spam 0-15. When he NV4 hip fires, he hits all 4 bullets.
Well, just to backtrack a little bit, trying to ignore the 0-15 meme, he also burned the camo, but still won the round. So important to note that it wasn't a complete waste. Active camo still being put to use, though. Splyce is going back towards this B-bomb
I love this.
site.
I love this.
Round and wasting no time. Faze, you see 2 members coming on the flank, but it's going to be Mad Cat that has the gunfight. Zuma, though, able to come out on top. Zuma flanks.
Look at the pressure coming in from Faze. Every single lane, their vultures going down to the prey. 2 now dead. Jerd trying to make this round go in his team's favor. They brought it back to a 2-on-2, actually. Enable on one side, Rewind ready to go for Jerd. He's going to challenge the first. The beatdown is there. 1 versus 1. Zuma against Jerd, 2 of the most explosive submachine gun players in the history of Call of Duty. They have ARs this time around, and whoop! Bringing it back in time as he rewinds and wins the round. It's a flashy play, a great use of the payload ability as he goes around and clutches this one up. So many tense moments here, Chance, in this search and destroy.
And beautiful play on both ends as well, because I'm not sure who that player on Faze was, but he was next to the bomb, baiting it out, laying down, pre-aiming exactly what Jerd was going to do. Of course, the rewind gets you out of a bad situation. So that's a situation where no one did anything wrong. Sometimes, you do everything right and you still lose. That's just life.
Have to commend Enable. His search and destroy as the weekend's gone on has definitely improved from the .25 KD he had in his first few matches of S&D this weekend. Now leading his team, has a streak to his name, and if you look at your minimap, again, another interesting setup right now from Splyce as, I think I know what Clayster is using this round. He's got the sniper, he'll get first blood for his team.
Jerd in a gunfight as well. He's going to be causing quite a bit of a ruckus. Faze going to struggle to make any moves until they take care of this player. Of course, that bomb is leaning. Jerd trying to go for the beatdown, able to finish it off.
How does he get out?
It's the gunfight against Zuma, and he gets out. The player's not going to be there for the trade. That's Clayster in the back again, has that sniper rifle in hand. Yeah, not a good secondary weapon. He should be able to find the K-bar that was dropped by his teammate, though. I imagine he's going to be looking for that. That is the case. So he does have that in hand still, though. 3v3 situation, bomb towards B. Clayster able to use that K-bar to his advantage, helping out his team.
He wants the ace, man. There's 2, about to get 3. No, nothing yet. Gets challenged, and now it's a 2-on-2. 25 seconds left. Enable will plant the objective. And now I want to see him play around this streak, man. They've got what they need to win this round. And he does actually see one pushing towards middle. Stay alive, Enable. Stay alive, Enable. Wait for the help of your teammate. I do believe he's going to get it, but no, it's actually attached, getting cleaned on up. 1 versus 2. Streak now coming in. What can it do for him? And he should just stall this out. Yes. Hover this as long as possible. Buy time. He knows who the players are. Beautifully called in. 1 versus 2. Enable trying to be the hero for Faze. This one tied up at 4-4. Shots down range, and oh no! Oh no, we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen if you're a fan of Faze.
In fairness, though, that bomb was planted on the opposite side. I don't know if he would have had enough time to get there, even if he won the gunfight. So that's a Trinity Rocket burn right there. It was a good idea by him, but got nothing out of it. So again, we saw a round earlier where the active camo gets burned for essentially no use, but the round is a win, so it doesn't matter.
Yes.
That might come back to haunt them.
Chance, this is the series we wanted, these 2 teams so neck and neck right now. Faze fans in the crowd, your team needs to mount the comeback right now if they want to go up 2-0 in this series. Does Clayster still have the sniper? And he does. 3, 2, 1. Does he peek? No, not about yet. And again, Splyce immediately dive right towards his objective. They know attach is behind this drill. They get some tax on him for the moment as he's just trying to stay alive. His teammate now cut down. 3 versus 3. Attach is now found by Splyce. Clayster moving up the map. He's got his overdrive. Nothing for him there. Enable the final hope for Faze in this game 2. And he's about to get pressured by 2 different players. Snaps right onto 1. The second player is there, and he's somehow gotten out with his life. But he still has to defuse this objective, and that is going to be his biggest worry now. 20 seconds left. Mad Cat, the veteran, playing this one absolutely flawlessly.
It's tough, too, because Enable jumped far enough back mid-map that he couldn't watch the cross to observation, so he has so much stuff that he needs to clear out before he can defuse this bomb. There's just nothing for him to find. Mad Cat able to finish the kill as well, so tough spot, but Splyce. Talk about a bounce back as well, because again, it was a 250-20 hardpoint game, but staying strong, win the search and destroy, and it doesn't matter how much you win by, the W is all that matters, so we do have a series tied at 1-1.
Yeah, rough game for Attach. 3 and 9 from him. Enable did all he could. 8 and 7, 3 plants and 1 defuse. But either way, folks, it's all tied up 1-1 in this EU vs NA showdown. One of the strengths of this new year of the Call of Duty World League is the focus on international competition. We're here at the CWL Vegas Open. We've got the CWL Atlanta Open out there in February. Obviously, the Global LAN League, where we will have European teams as well as APAC teams involved. And then later on this year, Anaheim and Champs. We're going to be seeing a lot of this battle, and that's what gets me excited about these storylines building up already in just our first weekend of the CWL 2017 season.
Sure, and focusing on this individual match, though, bringing it back down to the smaller picture, do you think that map 1 is a fluke? Not that Faze shouldn't win that, but the 250-20 stat line, do you think that's a fluke, or will Splyce just have zero hope of being able to win this next respawn?
No, Splyce definitely have a hope of winning this next respawn. I think that first map was a sign of Faze doing everything right, but also not missing a beat. Like, that was some of the best hardpoint I've ever seen played. And when you add in the gun skill that this team has, that's why this Faze team was formed, what, almost a year and a half ago now? One of the longest standing rosters in Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare. So this team, they want to prove that they should beat this European powerhouse in Splyce, but we've got ourselves a 1-1 series. You see Zuma there going through with the rig draft. We'll bring that to you here quite soon. Look now at the side of Splyce, as they're definitely happy to have brought this game back from what was that first map 1 loss.
Yeah, and so the second question is this a must-win for them? Do they have to win the uplink? Because again, if they lose this, they got to go right back into hardpoint. And again, like, even if it's a fluke of a map number 1, like, Faze is obviously looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, I think you can say safely that I think this is definitely one that they need to win. I don't think it's maybe a must-win quite yet to that occasion. That made no sense.
Yeah, no, that
made no sense.
The same word.
I'm going to distract you guys. Let's look at the map order and see where this series stands. Woo, thank you, Brian, backstage, making sure we get that up on the screen before people make more fun of me. Throwback uplink up next. As Chance, that one got you real excited. What's up with this?
I mean, didn't necessarily get me excited. We've seen some low-scoring games on it so far. Again, a lot of very passive play. I know EG kind of showed off a one-point toss you can do over Grandma's Hill if you're attacking that barn side of things. So a lot of new things we're still learning from these teams. Maybe EU guys have some tricks up their sleeves. Not too sure. Don't really know how to call this one either. You definitely want to give the slaying edge to Faze, but even then, again, it's unsure of how much, because again, Mad Cat, Jerd, fantastic players. Bance was able to pull off second chance flash it. Like, they have the roster together, so.
Game 4 will be retaliation hardpoint, so when it does get there, I think we saw Envy and Faze match that back on day number 1. Clayster talked a little bit about the hardpoint statistics. I'm excited to watch that map, but first we've got ourselves throwback uplink. Chance, what do you think about this map and game mode combination? Who do you favor coming into it?
I mean, I pretty much just answered that question, right? Like, it's generally a slow-paced game. I don't know who to favor. Again, I haven't seen these EU guys get to play it much at all, just based on the slaying performance we saw from map 1. You have to imagine that Faze is going to be strong. We already know that they are a very good uplink team. So I'm definitely leaning towards them. However, it, of course, remains to be seen. A lot of Call of Duty left to play, at least 10 more minutes just for this individual game. And map number 3 is underway.
Oh, I love you, Vegas crowd. I'm looking down at you. Keep getting loud for me out there as we're now in game number 3. Uplink on throwback. We're watching Attach from Faze Clan as he's the last alive, going to try to stall whatever pressure Splyce can put on. There goes 2. Attach off the break of this game, keeping control of the map for his team.
Well, now, number 2 on the mini-map, Jerd, he is all the way in his opponent's base, but there aren't any gunfights for him, so he needs to get back mid-map, try and pick up some kills. That's what he's going to do. Not even, barely able to pick up the first one, Enable. Nearly able to get that turned on there, so evened up 2-2 odds. So Jerd, again, doing a good job to get back into the base, causing all sorts of problems. He's going to be on that 4-kill streak as well. Finally, though, Enable able to shut him down.
Right now, every time I think Faze gets a kill, the crowd is getting into it, so you can tell they're quite NA heavy here in Vegas. No surprise there, though. I don't know why I just went to the drone. That didn't make any sense, as there was no pressure on it for the moment, but Attach will try to stay alive near this underpass area as, ooh, nice shot to the OSA from that range, but here we go. It's time for Jerd and crew to go for the throw. There's the connection. Splyce up 1-0 at the first minute of gameplay.
Yeah, and you can see Splyce is really trying to prioritize the spawn trap that you can put in. We saw that from the positioning of Jared earlier on. Still, though, it is a good job by Faze to make sure to clear out their base to contain that lead just by a 1 point difference. Still, though, it is going to be Splyce on the attack. They have all sorts of control, and for the moment, Faze is kind of pinned back under their portal inside of bowling. Jared's going to try and get at least another 1 point toss on board. Attached, though, there to take him down.
Josh trying to stay alive. It's Splyce stopping him in his tracks, so I do believe for the moment Faze have stopped this pressure, and I do like how Bance has slowed this down. Nicely done by him to recognize the situation. Doesn't try to charge forward, just stays in control of top ticket window, and when he's got that locked down, his teammates are allowed to do what they're doing right now, Chance, and that's flood right across middle map. Bance going to go ahead, try to get this one. Not going to happen, and now Faze, they've finally caught their ground, and they're going to look to move up the map. Jerd lasts alive, but again, he gets two, and that's been the theme so far of this map, Chances. Finally, when Faze move up, there's a player from Splyce to get a two-piece that stops any pressure they can put on.
Yeah, and right now, Jerd is 9-5. He is causing all sorts of problems. He is constantly putting pressure on Faze, and occasionally Faze is able to deal with it, but again, you can only play defense for so long before those points are going to slip through. So again, Faze trying to throw that drone mid-map, get as much control as possible. They're leaning towards that lemon side, and again, who's your guy that's going to be stopping that? It is going to be Jerd, able to find one, trying to get the second as well, shuts down Zuma. So again, Faze, they are struggling to just even get on the attack.
Now Enable's actually found himself under the portal of Splyce. There's no drone to show for it, though, so these kills are great, but he needs his teammates to win the engagements middle map if they want to act on this. So far, they've gotten two, and they can look to score off this one, but somehow Josh has snuck behind enemy line. Zuma, though, expects the flank, as Splyce need to now do what Faze has done so far this game, which is push out of their base, get some kills near their spawn to relieve some of this push that Faze are trying to put in. 3 kills, 4 dead. Faze clan, they've done it, and now they can go for their first score of the game.
Yeah, Clayster's going to have this drone, going to go straight through Grandma's. You have Zuma still in the base as well. This is going to be a dunk without some crazy gunfight going down. And entire credit right there. Got to give it to Zuma. He was in the spot that Enable is actually in right now, watching that cross, and he was able to go on a 5-streak while doing it, setting up this spawn trap as well. So you're going to have that drone go for the 1 point toss. That's going to connect. So what was once a Splyce 1-0 lead, Faze very quickly is able to turn around, continuing in this spawn trap. Enable hasn't left this spot. He can count out how many players cross over. Finally, someone from Splyce is able to shut him down, but still, the pressure is on. Will Splyce be able to hold defensively?
Clayster just holding this top vending side. Does get cut down from close range, and it's going to be up to Enable to lock down middle map. We'll see how long he can stay alive for. It doesn't seem like it's too much. The OSA from close range from Bance shreds him in two, and I do like this pressure now from Splyce. You've got to get bus control, which they do now have with Bance on your minimap, but it's attached with the two-piece. So many times at Uplink this weekend, we've seen where a team is about to push forward, make a play happen, and then there's a miraculous two-piece from the defensive side to really force the offensive team to get crafty with their play. Here's another example. It's Clayster this time around. Bance, though, with 2 of his own, as he's left last alive.
Yeah, Bance needs to pick up more kills. He is going to fall, so it's not looking very good for Splyce to get more points on the board towards the end. It all comes down to those gunfights, but it is going to be Faze putting on the pressure. Attached already inside of Silo. He's able to pick up a second kill. He's on a 5-streak, by the way, 250 off of that Trinity rocket, still inside a barn. He's just shooting players in the back. They haven't been able to figure out exactly where Attached is going to be, causing all sorts of problems. Finally gets shut down. Still, though, that drone is just hanging out by Blue. We are going to be going into side number 2 with a 3-1 lead by the Faze clan.
The respawns looking like Faze's key to success in this series, as they are up 3-1. Cool, calm, and collected is the team. Clayster and the squad, once they got control of middle map, they were able to rally it in for what, a dunk and then a 1-point play. Outside of that, though, it was a lot of push forward for a team, get wiped, restart from your base, and do the same thing to the opposing squad.
Yeah, I was going to say, Splyce probably had control of that side for 3.5, 4 minutes, but as soon as Faze had just a moment to breathe, they completely broke through to score 3 quick points.
And that's what's even scarier now for the side Faze is on, because typically, Faze are now on the preferred side with rallying in those scores. You force your opponent to spawn out in your blue, and then you just push forward with the objective. Clayster's already going for it. The one just over, just nearly misses the portal, but hey, it doesn't matter, as Clay is still there. He dunks it on in. 30 seconds off the break, and that's a score for Faze.
Calculated play. That was done on purpose. He knew Attach was going to be there for the putback. It is a bit unfortunate. If he was able to connect, Attach might have been able to have his gun out to set up for the spawn trap, but no matter, points are points. Still, though, Splyce hanging around mid-map. They have control just for a moment, but again, Zuma, he's just causing all sorts of problems. He's behind enemy lines, but look, and now he's incredibly tough to deal with.
Yeah, he's expecting them to keep spawning blue, but there's actually no pressure from Faze on that bike path area, so they just spawn behind him and shoot him in the back. Says, okay, thanks Zuma for that one. As pressure will remount towards middle. 4 minutes remaining, and for the difference in score between these teams. You haven't seen Splyce get a full 4 dead on Faze yet this map, and I think that's something they're going to have to change up if they want to come back in this game. Jerd trying to sneak through. There's the one. He connects with it. 5-2, now back within 3.
Difficult play, but he was able to pull it off. Just a 2-possession game now between these two teams. Of course, that push is going to allow Faze to get that control again. You see how far up Zuma always seems to be pushed. He's always behind enemy lines. He's in the building right now. Mad Cat's just trying to relieve some pressure. Able to pick up that kill on Clayster. And again, that's going to be nice little reset. We're going to have another opportunity for Splyce to be on the attack.
Jerd moving forward with the drone. He's got his lead blockers. 1 dead on Faze.
Oh. Not quite.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just switch off of that, and we'll go ahead and refocus towards Mad Cat, as he will try to stay alive in the Faze base. As they try to go for a crafty one, it doesn't work out, and wow. 3 go down for Splyce. Faze stopped without letting up a point.
And again, we saw just as soon as Faze gets a moment to go on the attack, they can completely run the score over. That's going to be 3 down in their favor. The last player alive is going to be Top Ticket, and he's shooting as well. Jerd's able to take down 1, but probably you're going to expect
overdrive.
Overdrive comes in. That's going to be another dunk. More importantly, another 3 down. Spawn trap time.
Here it comes, folks. The spawn trap Faze have been looking for. Now the score, 7-2, 2.5 minutes remaining. This could get out of hand quickly if they can't shut down Clayster.
And look at that spawn trap as well. You saw Enable. He was in his spawn watching the overextension. They had Zuma watching the trains, and the other 2 players were in the base. So they literally had entire map coverage setting up just for a single spawn trap. Now Zuma's going to be able to get in another dunk. That is played absolutely perfectly. That is textbook throwback uplink.
Shoots attach in the back, but hey, the damage has been done. 9-2 now the score. This was the setup I'm talking about. Faze, when they've got this locked down, it's going to be tough to break. Clayster with the 2-piece, still putting on the pressure. Splyce, they do have the right idea by getting control of Bus again, but Clay, he sniffs it out. This is just rough to watch. As this respawn is getting so one-sided in these final minutes, you're going to see the drone picked up with Clayster in bowling. They have nothing to worry about on the flank. If he wins this one-on-one, there should be a dunk coming in for attach. Instead, he'll settle for the 1. Faze up 10-2.
Minute and a half left, 8 points between these two teams. 4 times they're going to have to get a dunk on board. It's not impossible, but it is certainly not going to be easy. Jerd, though, has that in hand. Looks like he's going to go for the quick 1-point toss. The interception not going to be there. However, URC Faze is able to take it. 2 kills, make that a 3rd. Mad Cat's last one alive, and that is 4 down from Faze, and that's all they need.
Every time Splyce has scored, they haven't been able to rally like Faze has. If you think of the amount of times where Faze has scored these points, it's been like 10 points in 3 minutes of actual gameplay. The rest is contesting for middle. Meanwhile, Splyce has these 1-point plays that has really just been because they try to do whatever they can with map positioning. It doesn't really work out. 55 seconds left. Chance, I don't see any reason why Splyce should come back in this game.
Well, now really the question is Retaliation Hardpoint's going to be our next map.
Yeah.
We already know Faze looked pretty good on map 1. They look incredibly good on map 3 as well. Is there anything that Splyce can even do in respawn against Faze?
They have the team that's capable of doing it, but right now I think it's just Faze being so well practiced, so prepared, showing why they won that PlayStation experience. Here now this weekend, they're cruising right on through. 20 seconds left. We're just waiting for time to tick down. Now it's just padding the stats as attach is 32 and 20. Zuma 30 and 21. The duo making it happen with the ARs used to subs. Either way, they're matching the meta. Folks in the venue, Faze Clan will go up 2-1 as they go back to the game mode that they beat Splyce by 228 seconds in earlier on this series.
I mean, this is just crazy, right? Like, this is about as close to perfect Call of Duty as I think we've seen in quite some time. Because, I mean, again...
In the respawns, I'll say.
Yeah, because well, this is very early on in the game cycle, but even that setup they had for the spawn trap, they had Enable back in their spawn, watching the full overextension. Yep. Like, they're cutting off things in their spawn when the drone is going for more points. Like, they have complete map coverage. Like, I haven't seen that yet.
And what is that an example of? A well-practiced team. They know there's only 2 ways that can be broken, and that's overextending through the mid-train or sending a super long flank through back barn. Enable reads it perfectly. You've got to call that cross. And as long as they do that, they will continue to rally in those points. FaZe Clan now up 2-1 as Splyce. The unfortunate thing, they don't have a search and destroy next. They have a hard point, and they've got a tall order if they want to force this game 5.
And again, FaZe was playing the hard point absolutely perfectly. Like, it's one thing when you play incredibly smart, because you still have to win the gunfights. And not only are they winning gunfights, they're winning the majority of them. So they can't be killed, and they're not making mistakes, and they're doing everything they can that's right. Like, that's absolutely insane.
Well, we're having a great series on the main stage, but right now I know we have Chris Puckett on the floor for a quick update.
Thank you, Courage. That's right. We are down here on the floor, and behind me we have 3 matches going on. These are all winners bracket round 1. You, of course, see Splyce versus FaZe on the main stage, but to my right, we are going to have Cloud9 tied up against Elevate. This is another NA versus EU battle. Meanwhile, this is a rivalry fight behind me. We have Rise Nation going up against Luminosity. Luminosity was able to win that first hard point, and then in our final match, ALG was able to take the first hard point over E6, but Enigma 6, they've been the surprise of the tournament. We'll see if they can get another big win here in Las Vegas. For now, let's send it back to the desk for their thoughts on the last game.
So, let's recap the series. So, start with map 1. Do we have to start with map 1?
Map 1, I mean, there's nothing like that strategically happens in map 1. It was just a slaughtering.
Have you ever seen a team get beat that bad?
Yes. So,
okay.
We got story time.
ESWC 2014.
Okay.
I think it was Momo. 2013. I think it was like 250-4. It's pretty bad.
But didn't that series go game 5?
Yeah. Which this one could easily go game 5 as well.
Okay, interesting. Well, FaZe, I mean, yeah. Map 1, they just crushed, let's be honest. Map 2, though, things go Splyce's way. Joe, kind of break down what happened in the search and destroy.
I mean, it's what you want to see after such a beating in map 1. You want to see these guys compose. They were honestly just sort of laughing it off after map 1. They were like, this was a bit ridiculous. We have to focus up on map 2. But really, you just saw Splyce just playing extremely well as a team on that A bomb site, getting those bombs down, and just clutching in those 3v3s.
And then, obviously, the last uplink we just saw there, Matt, FaZe, once again, playing extremely well, making it look rather simple, to be honest.
The respawn games have just been dominated by FaZe, and it just seems that they're, in uplink at least, in that last one, they're all on the same page. I think Chance called it out. You know, they're watching the angles they need to watch, just rotating back to their spawn and whatnot. But it seems like Splyce, like in the respawn game modes, like it's odd, because the game is slowed down, but it feels like their teamwork has gotten like worse. Like they're kind of scrambled all over the place, which is odd, because you feel like when the game slows down, it should be easier.
Yeah, and they might not just be used to just getting outslayed like this. I mean, we talked about this Splyce roster, and there is so much talent, but FaZe is just putting a hurt on them in those respawns.
Obviously, Matt, you predicted that this would probably go to map 4. You said it would be a FaZe walking away with a 3-1.
We're in a pretty good spot.
I was going to say, how confident are you right now?
Yeah, I mean, look, going in retaliation, I think it's one of the hard points that is really unforgiving. Like, if you can rotate early to Grave and Broken, you're able to take a ton of time there. And even in that mid-hotel hallway, the last one, you're able to take a decent amount of time. I think FaZe is in a really good spot. They get that bridge early, get Clayster up there, just picking up some kills. Once they get the lead, I can't see them giving it up to Splyce.
I guess one of the questions I want to ask you, Mark, and I'm sure the rest of Europe would love to know, what does Splyce have to do differently here in map 4?
Yeah, you just have to slow down FaZe slaying-wise. Put the pressure on them. Like, every single game so far, Splyce has fallen behind early. You have to put the pressure on FaZe, and that just deals with slaying. Slowing down attach, slowing down Clayster, it's a tough thing to do.
Well, it's harder now. I mean, when the game was so fast, it's a little bit easier to make those big comebacks, right? Because you're just able to snowball. You start winning gunfights. Now it's like, you can rotate a little bit earlier. You can give up sometime. You can make it back. Like, it's a lot harder. Like, I feel like now you're just playing like the long game. Like, before you can come back really fast, 2 hills. Now you're trying to chip away. 15-point comeback on this hill. 10 on the next one. Like, you're just trying to consistently beat them. And it's a game that Splyce is just not used to playing right now.
There's a big roar behind us from the open station.
There's a lot of FaZe fans out here, too.
Dude,
like,
hey, man, FaZe fans can get rowdy, too. I would love to see that Optic versus FaZe matchup at some point throughout this tournament. Obviously now,
that could be a while.
Yeah,
could be a while.
Could be, but I would love to see it nevertheless. Of course, we'll try and keep you up to date with everything going on the side station. Here a look at our championship winners bracket. Of course, at the top, Team FaZe going up against Splyce, Rise Nation versus Luminosity. Just underneath them, Cloud9, they take on Elevate, Allegiance versus Enigma 6. Just as a broad look at this one, Matt, if you had to give me a winners bracket final prediction right now, who are you going with?
I would say FaZe Cloud9.
Faze Cloud9?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
Merc?
pretty confident about that.
I feel like I know what you're going to say with this one. I feel like you're going to go with the open bracket squad, huh? You're gonna go
Nah,
with
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go Luminosity and E6.
Hey, all right. Luminosity E6, a little bit different there, a little bit different.
Luminosity is a team that like they have just like unlimited potential. That like I see them on there and I'm like, well, like do I really like take them in a game like over Faze? And it's like I'm not sure, but like Luminosity could easily come into that match and they play to their potential and they just like steamroll right through.
Obviously, back to the Faze Splyce matchup as it stands. Faze currently sitting pretty 2-1. Heading over to that next hard point. A question for you, Merc. Who from Splyce really needs to kind of step up? Because map 1 was not pretty at all, specifically talking about hard point.
If I had to pick on a player, especially with Retaliation, I would have to choose Mad Cat. He's been such a dominant AR for so long. You really want to see him step up and make those high-impact kills on those rotations.
How many kills did Josh have in game 1?
You just had to bring it up, didn't you?
I mean, I think it was like 3 kills or something like that.
I think they all had less. I don't know, they didn't
right, but I get what you're saying. I think you obviously need Josh to like kind of get his bearings like in respawn. But I do agree the sentiment that Mad Cat though is like that explosive player. You know, AR in the past who can really kind of control the angles that they need to, and it's a big task because he's going up against Clay.
If by some miracle, let's say Splyce was able to win this hard point, if it did go to a game 5, would you still say Faze could take this, or would you maybe lean a bit closer towards Europe?
Well, I think it still could go to Faze. I mean, Game 5, I believe it's Crusher, Search, and Destroy. And I had a Coach Reap sighting earlier today.
Okay.
I saw him in the venue, so I know that he's got those guys playing a lot of Search and Destroy. So, you know, they definitely have the potential to win it.
You're still thinking Faze as well, Matt?
Yeah, I would still go with Faze. I'm not. I wouldn't change my pick. If it goes to 5, I would still stay with Faze.
All right. Well, the redraft for the next hardpoint map 4, of course, underway. Looks pretty business as usual, though.
And this is something you touched on a map like Retaliation. Neither team has overdrive. They both took Centurions. It'll be very interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Well, map number 4 about to get underway. That means we can send it back up to our wonderful casters for the series.
Beautiful stuff, guys. Major props to Puckett as well as some boys on the analyst desk. Long days. A lot of fun, though, here at the launch of the CWL 2017 season. We're back in Hardpoint, folks. FaZe Clan and Splyce. Let's see if this one's a little bit closer. Please let it be closer. I really want it to be closer.
Honestly, if they could just break 100 points, I think I'd be satisfied with that performance. We're going to see right now it is going to be Splyce that are in the hill off the break, and then, well, they're not far away from having as many points as they did in the entire first game, and this is just the opening break. Chance,
the more I get to know you, the more I get to realize you really are the biggest troll in Call of Duty esports. You've got a lot of dry humor, and I really do appreciate it, as right now, FaZe are up 13-8. They've gotten control of the hardpoint for the moment. And if I'm not mistaken, when FaZe faced Envy on this map, they got absolutely destroyed on this bridge hardpoint. I think it was the bridge hardpoint, or it was the hotel hallway. Either way, there was one hill that Clay said we have to improve on this weekend. So we'll see if they do so in this match. Right now, the score about to be even as the rotation begins towards bottom bike. There's 3 kills on rotation, and folks, Splyce are 1 second away from matching the score they got in game 1.
Well, I mean, FaZe, they just seem to be like ahead of the game right now, right? Like Enable's just pre-aiming where these players are going to come from. We just saw a clean forward down. Now you see Splyce is actually going to spawn out, but Itachi recognizes it. He turns around, that number 5 on your screen. So again, they're hyper aware of where these spawns are going to be coming in, and they're cleaning up everything. This is now what, 8 kills in a row for the FaZe clan. Not much more you could ask for.
Make it 9. Looking for more now as everybody from Splyce is just running down the lower street. And if you look, you've got 2 players top patio, 1 near top bedroom window. Clayster obviously holding near this bike shop. They're just running right into the ARs of FaZe, and Clay's been staying alive all day long inside this hard point, now 5-2.
I mean, yeah, I think you were right. They're just not good at bridge, like that single hill, because since then it's been more of the same for what we saw in the first hard point. Even then, the bridge hill is, 50-50 split. They both got about 20, 22 points on it, something like that. So the rotations are coming in. I assume FaZe is going to do that pretty much flawlessly, as they've done before. You see right now, Enable's going to be pushing that focus on the market side, but his teammates are spawning up on the bridge side, so they've got a built-in pinch coming in.
Look at the mini-map spawn we just saw from Josh and Mad Cat all the way near the bottom of the map. They've got to try to trek all the way across, and the FaZe pinch now developing. Thankfully for European COD fans, Splyce do get the first 2 kills, which will make this a much tougher thing to do for FaZe, and runs out of ammo. Splyce do win the battles on rotation as they look to come back in this game. They were down by about 40 seconds, now 30, as they continue to chip away.
Well, so far, Faze, they've pushed 3 players up the bridge. 1 player is going to be coming on the flank. That's going to be Glacier. That's going to be 2, make it 3 down in their favor. And it looks like they got that 4th kill a little bit earlier on, so Faze, pretty much a perfect break coming in. So Splyce finally gets some points on the board, but it's not for long.
With the new hardpoint changes, Splyce just give up 30 seconds of time. They don't spawn near it. They spawn out. They say, all right, you know what, boys? Even if we give this up, we'll be down by about 65 seconds. If we can have a perfect hold at Broken, this will be near a tie game. And I do actually agree with the decision here. The thing is, can they hold it for the full 60 seconds? They haven't done it once yet this entire series in Hardpoint. Let's see how they can do as 3 players begin to push down bridge for Faze.
Well, I'm just here to learn. We're going to see how Faze is approaching this hill, but 2 are actually going to fall. Mad Cat and Jared going to be able to come out on top of that engagement. Mad Cat has a bit of work cut out for him, though. He's got a player coming from the challenge on that wall run bridge side. He's going to be flying out over top of Attach, able to win the gunfight. Faze putting all sorts of pressure coming down this bridge. Vance, though, in the hill. He's got the important gunfights to win, and he's going to win both of those against Attach. He's a player inside. Give them all 3. Vance, someone needed to step up for the team, and so far it's looking to be him on a 4 streak.
33 seconds to his name as well. They've done halfway of this hard point with locking it down the full time, and they're looking to get the rest. 1 final push from Faze. The challenge comes in. Vance cleans up 1. He sees 2 others near the bus, but he's got help from his teammates. This is a perfect hold. Vance now about to earn some streaks, almost has the bombardment as well, and just like that, Splyce get the full 60. The plan works out, and they're back within 1 second.
This is what I said when Clayster got the streaks map 1. I haven't seen a single team get fully streaked out, any individual player in a respawn, and them not win. They are absolutely huge, especially with how important each individual kill is going to be on the map. So definitely got to keep your eye on Vance, of course. If any team is going to break that trend, Faze is definitely looking to be the team that's going to do it. Still, though, Attach right now 12-6, looking fantastic. Clayster trying to get inside the hill as well. They're just bunny hopping around the hill. Either way, though, Faze going to be able to take control, and the awareness by Clay able to get that turn on Mad Cat.
When Clay came back from the break there in Game 3, the crowd erupted when he walked on stage. He's got the energy behind him, and apparently Attach does as well. 15-6. This guy's shooting through walls right now and hitting people. 3 streak to his name, 129, 130. Now to 108 the score, and again, Splyce will give up this scrap time in Hotel Hallway to set up for Bridge to maybe get themselves another large chunk of time.
Well, Splyce is doing the correct thing as well. They're trying to push out both sides pretty much as far as they can. Of course, they have to win the gunfights while doing so, and Attach is still continuing to pick them apart. He's on a 4, make it 5 streak again. Has a player underneath. He is going to get shut down by Jared. Either way, though, we saw 4 players for Splyce give up the scrap time to focus on this hill. Doesn't make a single bit of difference. Faze is able to get inside first.
Unable playing that close van area. Zuma getting flanked now. Beautiful pinch from the side of Splyce as they'll stop the bleeding for the moment. Back up to what is the largest lead for Faze in this game at about 40 seconds. Alongside from what we saw earlier on. But remember, don't count any teams out in hardpoint. Clayster doing what he can. Currently sitting at 9 and 10. A nice assist there as Faze might give this 1 final pressure. I do believe they will, and that's a nice clean break. They'll get the rest of this time and begin the rotation towards the bike shop.
So the question is, right now, Vance is still sitting on some score streaks. When do you break those out? Do you save them all the way for Cathedral, or do you use them for the next hill?
I think you use them at Cathedral. There's too much indoor cover that is still valuable to watch over this hard point with top patio, with top bedroom, inside the bike shop area, where Faze can sit to avoid those streaks. Clayster, if he heats up, I think that's disaster for Splyce. 3 streak for him now. Make him 4. Shot coming down from this high ground area. Clayster is just not missing a 5 streak. He's now 1 kill off some streaks of his own as Faze are now getting into that gear where they become untouchable in this game mode.
Well, last time around, this is where Faze went on about a 10 kill streak and held the hill for nearly an entire 60 now. It was Splyce that was there earlier on, but since then, nothing but Faze. There's the Trinity Rocket, so we got streaks on streaks. Vance hasn't used his, and frankly, he might need to just to shut down Clayster before he gets any farther, and that's going to be the case. Not able to get anything more than that. Still, though, Faze looking pretty good. Largest lead we've seen so far this entire game, about 70 points between these 2 teams.
Rough stuff for Splyce. You worked so hard to come back from a minute-long deficit earlier. Now, though, you're in the same position. Will the Cathedral hardpoint be the one that brings you back into this game? Vance still has those streaks, but Clayster is now using his own to try to clear out that back area. It's going to be gunfights near this Graves hardpoint. What can Faze do to break?
Well, those streaks really didn't matter because the spawn came up in market, so Faze, they're going to have to force it. There's only 2 players coming in from bridge side, but apparently that's going to be enough for Faze to see attach and Placer working in tandem. Vance, though, going to be able to shut down 1 player. Placer is going to fall as well, so it is going to be Splyce still holding on to this game, down by 50 points, and Jerd is a force to be reckoned with at times. King Jerd is strong, and of course you see more streaks coming in. I believe those are going to be Vance's, and those land right on top of those Faze players trying to come over through market. What
a different game we would have, I think, if Mad Cat isn't 7-17 with the least amount of time on his team. They need him to be that consistent slayer that he's been known for in his career. Right now, though, not having it. The rest of this scrap time should be ready to go for Splyce, and there's 1 player, and it is actually Mad Cat, who's trying to be a hero across the map at Broken. He just can't get the kill on rotation. So Faze are set up to potentially get the full time on this Broken Hill. They just need to win a few gunfights, and there's the first one.
And you got to keep in mind the last time around, this was Splyce's kill. Well, is able to pick up 1, and that's at least going to cause problems for Faze. Has the 2nd player over attached, though. Going to be able to win that gunfight. And again, Faze, they can win this game on this very hill. 15 seconds left in the building, and they only need 30 more points.
Here Faze go again, folks. 220 to 194. Splyce have maybe 1 final coordinated push. They're 2 dead now, about to be 3. Faze doing everything they need to stop this pressure from Bridge. They do not want to let off the gas pedal right now. 235 to 194. The Let's Go Faze chants have started. Oh, there is nobody near the hard point, folks. The game mode that made this team famous in Advanced Warfare is back again for them. Faze clan, get on your feet. 250 to 194. Clayster is hyped.
Impressive stuff.
Beautiful stuff for Faze. There's a look at the crowd, excited for their team. Woo, Chance. If Faze keeps playing like this, man, I don't know who beats him.
I mean, it's crazy, too, because we talk about how important those score streaks are. Vance uses both of them. They do really well on that hill, get about, 45, 50 seconds, and they get all those points just to make the game closer. And by closer, I mean they still lost by about 60. So, again, Faze, their hard point is looking pretty dominant.
Mad Cat 9-21, the missing factor right there on the side of Splyce. For our first match of MLG Primetime tonight, it's the North American Powerhouse Squad, greater than EU. I think is what basically is being spammed in the chat right now. As Faze win that one 3-1, take both hard points and the uplink. As long as they can keep polishing that search and destroy, this team looking untouchable. Analysts want to hear your thoughts on how Faze closed out that series.
Well, with that one, of course, Faze will progress through to the winners bracket semi-final for Splyce. It's not over. They will fall down into the losers bracket, but we may see them later on in the tournament. But let's obviously just talk about that map number 4. Faze, they came out and just dominated once again, Merc.
I mean, that's what we talked about, them getting off to a hot start. Splyce just had to stop it. And going back to when we talked about before this map, I said Mad Cat has to do well. And he finishes 8-21. That's not something you can do as a man.
That's not well. Yeah, no, that's not well. You need Mad Cat to show up in a much bigger way than that. And obviously, some other things go wrong for Splyce during that, final game. But still, I think Mad Cat not kind of having that explosive performance really hurts them.
And how dominant of a force now do you think that makes Faze look, at least? I mean, are they now, with that win, going to have a ton of confidence going into the rest of the winners bracket?
I mean, I think so, and that's sort of what we talked about coming into this tournament. And we talked about how important 2 hard points is for this team. But again, Splyce, they had some shaky wins in pool play. Going game 5 with teams like Echo Fox, they only won over, TK, and then I believe, was it game 5 again with Cloud9?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, they really haven't shown much of a dominant performance.
My concern on the side of Faze would be is last year there were so many tournaments where they look so strong and they win their first round, and I'm like, this is the tournament where Faze is going to go to the finals. They probably look at the bracket and they're like, this is where we go to the finals, and it doesn't happen. It's like they can't look forward. They need to just take this one game at a time. This match is big, obviously, getting by Splyce. But still, like, you can't kind of look at this bracket and think like, oh my God, Envy's not here, Optic's not here. Like, this is like open, like it's going to be easy, because it's not going to.
Yeah, I mean, their next match is going to be Rise or Luminosity. I think that one of those 2 teams could definitely sit down this Faze team.
Okay. If you had to hedge your bets on which one it would be, who'd you say?
You know what bet? I put Luminosity in the winners finals.